Hey guys, welcome to another video tutorial of Edufy India. So if you guys haven't yet subscribed to our YouTube channel, then please go to the subscription button and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more video lectures, PDF notes, doubt sessions and quizzes, etc. We have seen nutrition as a most important life process in previous lectures. Now we are going to see another most important life process, that is respiration, in this video lecture. As we have seen that whatever food we intake in our body, it is required for producing energy in our body. So what is the process for producing energy from the food that we intake is the respiration. So now we are going to see about what is the process of respiration, then what are the different organisms that access different pathways for the respiration. We all know that whatever food that we intake in our body is required for producing energy in our body, and this energy is important to our cells for their other activities, other functions. So the production of the energy from the food that we intake is done by the process which is called as respiration. So what is the respiration? So respiration is the process of formation of energy from the food that we intake. It is also called as cellular respiration as it occurs in the cells of our body. So respiration is also called as cellular respiration because it occurs in the cells of our body. So what is the another definition for respiration? As we go into the biology part, so we are going to see the scientific definition for the cellular respiration. So cellular respiration is the life process by which glucose is break down to form energy in the cells for their all other activities and other life processes. As we have seen that the food that we intake in our body is converted into glucose by the nutrition processes, by the digestive system, as we have discussed. So this glucose is break down to form energy in the cells by the cellular respiration for their all other activities, like for example protein synthesis, contraction of muscles and other life processes that we have seen. Nutrition, we are going to see now respiration, then excretion, etc. So now different organisms has different pathways for this process. So different organisms acquire different pathways for the respiration process depending on their organizational structure, then their requirement, then environmental conditions, etc. For example, some organisms use oxygen for the breakdown of glucose into carbon dioxide and water, and it releases energy. So this is one of the pathway for the respiration process. In this pathway, the organism uses oxygen for the breakdown of glucose into carbon dioxide and water, and it releases energy. So what is the another pathway? So some organisms do not use oxygen, and so their products will be different, like ethanol and carbon dioxide. So this is the another pathway in which some organisms do not use oxygen, and that's why their products will be different, like other than carbon dioxide and water, and those are ethanol and carbon dioxide, and it also releases energy. Now we are going to discuss about types of respiration which depend upon what are the environmental conditions in which respiration occurs. For example, in presence of oxygen or in absence of oxygen. So there are two types of respiration. So those are aerobic respiration and anaerobic respiration. So first of all we will see what is aerobic respiration. So aerobic respiration occurs in the presence of oxygen. It occurs in the mitochondria. So this type of respiration occurs in mitochondria of our cells. The products are carbon dioxide, water and energy. So the products are carbon dioxide, water and energy from this respiration process. This release of energy is much greater than released in anaerobic one. So the energy released by this aerobic respiration is greater than the energy which is released in anaerobic respiration. As this process depends on oxygen, organisms should have sufficient intake of oxygen in their body. So as we have seen that aerobic respiration occurs in presence of oxygen, so organisms depends on the oxygen for the respiration process. So they should ensure that they have sufficient intake of oxygen in their body. Okay. So now second is anaerobic respiration. So anaerobic respiration occurs in absence of oxygen. So this respiration process occurs in absence of oxygen. The products are ethanol, carbon dioxide and energy. So the products are ethanol, carbon dioxide and energy, and it occurs in yeast. So this anaerobic respiration occurs in yeast. Now we will go ahead with the respiration process. So during respiration, first step is similar in all organisms. So the first step of respiration will be similar in all cases. So what is the first step? So glucose, which is a 6 carbon compound, is break down into two molecules of pyruvate, where pyruvate is a 3 carbon compound. So this is the first step of respiration, which is similar in all cases. So in this first step, glucose is break down into two molecules of pyruvate. So now what will be the second step of respiration? So the second step will be different in different organisms. So in mitochondria, pyruvate is converted into carbon dioxide, water and energy in the presence of oxygen. So this will be the one of the second step which is present in our mitochondria, where pyruvate is converted into carbon dioxide, water and energy in the presence of oxygen. So now in yeast, pyruvate is converted into ethanol, carbon dioxide and energy in the absence of oxygen. So this is one of the second step of respiration which occurs in yeast. Now what will be the third one? So it occurs in our muscle cells, where pyruvate is converted into lactic acid, which is also a 3 carbon compound, and it produces energy in the absence of oxygen. So whenever there is a lack of oxygen in our muscle cells, then pyruvate is converted into lactic acid and it produces energy, instead of pyruvate converted into carbon dioxide, water and energy in the presence of oxygen. So this will be the another second step in the respiration process. As we have seen, there are different pathways of respiration, that is different pathways of breakdown of glucose. So in this diagram you can see there are various pathways by which glucose gets breakdown. So first of all, glucose is converted into pyruvate and it releases energy, and this occurs in cytoplasm, and this is the first step of respiration which is similar in all cases in all organisms. Now we have seen that the second step of respiration will be different depending on the environmental conditions and the organism. So first step will be formation of ethanol, carbon dioxide and energy from the pyruvate in the absence of oxygen, and it occurs in yeast as we have seen. Now second step will be formation of lactic acid and it releases energy in the muscle cells in the lack of oxygen. And the third one will be formation of carbon dioxide, water and energy in the presence of oxygen in the mitochondria of our cells. So here we can see that there are three fates of pyruvate, that is pyruvate converted into in three different modes, in three different environmental conditions, in three different conditions in the body of the organism. So the first one will be formation of ethanol, carbon dioxide and energy in absence of oxygen. Second will be formation of lactic acid and energy in lack of oxygen. Third one will be formation of carbon dioxide, water and energy in the presence of oxygen. As we have seen that energy is produced during cellular respiration, where glucose is break down into different compounds. So now this energy released during cellular respiration is immediately synthesized into ATP molecule, that is adenosine triphosphate. Now this ATP is also called as energy currency of the cell, because this ATP drives all the activities of the cell, like a battery which drives all the energy uses, like for mechanical energy, for electrical energy, etc. So this ATP gets breakdown by water to give fixed amount of energy, which is equivalent to 30.5 kilojoule per mole. So this energy drives all the activities of the cell by breaking down of ATP molecule by water, which gives 30.5 kilojoule per mole of energy. So how the ATP molecule is produced? So whatever energy produced during cellular respiration is used for formation of this ATP molecule. So this ATP is produced from ADP, that is adenosine diphosphate, and inorganic phosphate. Then endothermic reactions in the cells use ATP for other reactions and activities in the cell. So what are these endothermic processes? So these endothermic processes are nothing but chemical reaction that consume energy in the form of heat. For example, anabolic reactions. So they uses energy in the form of heat for other reactions and activities in the cell. So this ATP is produced from ADP and inorganic phosphate. So here you can see the equation from which ATP is produced. So this ADP plus inorganic phosphate gives you adenosine triphosphate, that is ATP. So we have seen that whatever the energy that is released during cellular respiration is converted into ATP. Okay, so this ATP again breaks down by water, which releases a fixed amount of energy. Now this energy is used by the endothermic processes in the cell for other reactions and activities in the cell. Until now we have seen that what is respiration and what are the different processes that occurs in respiration. Now we are going to see that what is the respiration process in different organisms. So first of all we will start with the plants. So in plants, exchange of carbon dioxide and oxygen takes place through diffusion. As we have seen that for respiration some organisms depend on oxygen for the respiration process. So here oxygen is come from environment for the process of respiration in the plants, and there is a exchange of carbon dioxide and oxygen takes place through diffusion. As we have seen that during photosynthesis plants use carbon dioxide for preparing the food, and for respiration they requires oxygen, as we have seen during nutrition part. So this exchange of carbon dioxide and oxygen takes place through diffusion. Now what is the area where the gases can come into the plant through the environment? So that is stomata. We have seen that stomata is a pore which present on the leaves of the plants. So this exchange of gases takes place through stomata. Now large intercellular spaces ensure that the cells are in contact with atmosphere for carbon dioxide and oxygen. As plants depend on oxygen and carbon dioxide, it is essential to ensure that they have sufficient amount of carbon dioxide and oxygen in their body, and it is ensured by the large intercellular spaces in the cells of their body, and it will ensure that they are in contact with atmosphere for carbon dioxide and oxygen. Now the direction of diffusion depends on the environmental conditions and requirements of the plant. So what will be that? So at night there is a high elimination of carbon dioxide as photosynthesis does not takes place. So as we have seen that sunlight is very essential part for photosynthesis to occur. So at night there is no photosynthesis. So there is no requirement of carbon dioxide for the plants. So there is high elimination, that is high removal of carbon dioxide from them to the environment. Now this carbon dioxide is produced during respiration at night. So at night plants do respiration and this carbon dioxide is produced during the respiration of the plants. As we have seen that when glucose is converted, it will produce carbon dioxide, water and energy. So this carbon dioxide is produced during the respiration. So in this case, the diffusion will be like removal of carbon dioxide from the body of the plant and intake of oxygen to them. Now during the day, photosynthesis occurs and we know that it requires carbon dioxide. So during the day, oxygen releases the most. So in this duration, the direction of diffusion will be release of oxygen and intake of carbon dioxide. We are going to see respiration in the animals. So terrestrial animals use oxygen present in the air. They have different organs for the exchange of gases, that is for exchange of carbon dioxide and oxygen, and the organs are placed inside the body of the terrestrial animals. These organs have large surface area for exchange of gases, and they have passages for intake and uptake of gases to this surface. As the organs are placed inside the body, there should be some sort of tube called as passages for intake of and uptake of gases to this surface. So these are present in their body. Now, aquatic animals breathe in oxygen which is in dissolved form in water. Their breathing rate is higher than terrestrial animals as dissolved form of oxygen in water is less than in present in air. As we all know that the oxygen which is in dissolved form in water is less than the oxygen which is present in air. So the breathing rate of aquatic animals is higher than terrestrial animals to cope up with their respiration process to the need of their body, etc. For example, fish takes water from their mouth and passes it to gills where dissolved oxygen is taken up by the blood. So the fish takes up water which is in the which has oxygen in the dissolved form from their mouth, and then they pass that water to their gills where exact exchange of gases takes place and the dissolved form of oxygen is taken up by their blood for their further respiration process. So follow us on these social platforms for free PDF notes, videos, doubt sessions, quizzes, etc. And the link for this is given in the description of this video. So if you like this video lecture and you want to see another video lectures on different topics of biology, so please follow us on these social platforms and also subscribe to our YouTube channel. Don't forget to like, comments, share and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thank you for watching this video. So if you like this video lecture, then please subscribe to our YouTube channel and stay tuned for another video lecture on the same chapter.